Oh, yo, what up, Good morning, GM. Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. New month, actually. First show of the month of March. A month that is starting off in a pretty crazy way. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler Mando. Good morning. How you guys doing today?
GM, how are you?
Good. I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, chilled, man. Great weekend.
Yeah, it's been quite an eventful weekend.
Definitely been eventful, right? It felt like the monitoring the situation. I like. It always happens on a Friday night. It feels like You wake up on Saturday and it's like right, settling in for a 2-day monitoring the situation.
Yeah. It's nice it's on the weekend because I'm too busy to monitor usually weekdays, or I don't really have the brain power for that. But this weekend, I literally had nothing else to do but to monitor, especially a serious situation I really deeply care about. So it was a glorious day to put put everything secondary and just monitor. Vanessa would come up to me every few hours, be like, "So, how's the monitoring going? Any new situations?" And I'm just fill her in. It's awesome. I have now my co-captain for when it comes to monitoring. Which is awesome. Tyler, how you doing?
I think I monitored the situation too hard across the week. I think it scrambled my brain a little bit. So gonna need to pull back a little bit from rage bait X posts on every side of the situation. I think I read most of them. But hey, market's doing all right.
Listen, for the scale of what's going on in the planet right now, it's been doing okay. Look, we'll talk about this in a minute, so we don't have to jump into it right now. Markets on the menu today with Mando, so I'm sure we'll be talking about pretty much the declaration of war, right, on Friday evening. So we'll be talking about that, and but also with regards to what it means for our markets, because that's what this show is about. Tyler's top 100. Let's see what Tyler's going to store for us in terms of news. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff happened over the weekend, that's for sure. And then we'll give some money away thanks to our partners over at yeet.com. Make sure that you sign up using the code FOMO Hour. You have to use the code FOMO Hour to have a chance to win Monday to Friday. We pick a winner and we give you guys some money. We give actually you guys a lot of money. And for the month of March, oh yes, this show is powered by none other than our good friends over at Walrus. Walrus is a verifiable data platform for builders in AI and on-chain finance. As these systems handle more money and decisions, the more mission critical this data foundation becomes. Actually, that's a banger. True story. To learn more, visit. It's true. All of the crypto articles are shown there. To learn more, visit Walrus, WALRUS.xyz. Mando, we missed you over the end of last week. Let's get right to you.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
GM, everyone. Yeah, sorry, I was in New York on Friday.
How's that? It's cold, no? Wait, and snowy.
It was cold. It was cold, but it was a good trip. Met a bunch of people. Saw KBM. Yeah, good trip. I was only there for one night.
How's KBM feeling?
Good. Yeah. Just his normal self, just swings from bullish to bearish every 5 minutes, and hilarious to put in front of people. But yeah, we met some investors, and yeah, he's a character. So yeah, it was good trip. Went out for a nice steak dinner together.
Ooh, where'd you go?
Oh, you have to. I forget the name of the place. He chose it,
awesome.
But yeah, it wasn't very sceney. It was like all about the food, but really good.
I love that. Well, that's a lot of fun. He does. You know what's funny about KBM? For people who don't know, he's the same in person as in tweets. Like, he swings that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in front of you, he's like that, which is spectacular to watch. And he's also one of the nicest guys ever. So we love KBM. But anyways, how's the markets? I mean, you came back when we said on Friday, so you must have got right into that.
Yeah, look, I it's been a bit of a wild turn, right? I think everyone was looking at a few things on last week, which was this job losses, potentially the idea that we could see widespread unemployment, which then may or may not lead to like massive money printing, and everyone was trying to extrapolate what happened with the block. And then in the background, we had the US-Iran stuff, which definitely felt like it was getting worse over the course of that week, but still felt like a somewhat remote possibility, maybe less than 50% that something was going to happen this weekend. And then we woke up to a situation over the weekend. Again, this feels like maybe a large number of the objectives were potentially achieved over that weekend, but it doesn't feel like the sort of conflict that's going to be over just yet. I suspect, even if they've got rid of, they've obviously killed Khamenei and the vast majority of the Iranian leadership, but this isn't like Venezuela, I don't think, where you just kind of everyone falls in line afterwards. I think this is going to be a bit more of a sustained fight here. So I think, we'll expect to see stuff this week. We've obviously seen that flare up on a macro basis because this is now starting to affect a lot of the energy infrastructure in the space. Qatar and the Strait of Hormuz have both been affected, and you've seen a rise in global oil prices, gas prices on the back of that. So this does feel like it's going to be slightly extended. I don't know where this kind of leads. I don't think there'll be like a ground offensive any sort of way. I still think this is going to be a case of you better stop or we'll keep escalating. But I do think this will end at some point. On the back of that, so crypto somewhat outperform, I would say, what I would have expected versus previous times this has flared up. Like we went down to like the low 60s and then just kind of hung out in a very tight range. Gold went higher. Some other metals, silver seems to went higher, although this morning some of those gains have been given back. Gold is still probably the best performer, at least over those 3 days, alongside obviously energy, oil and gas, all higher. And then crypto, we saw Hyperliquid probably is the best performing major L1 that broke through 30. But there's a lot of coins which just kind of put in a tighter range almost here. They didn't really break down lower or higher. So we've been looking at Monero, obviously, which is kind of in that sort of camp, just kind of hanging out really where it was throughout the whole weekend. And there's like a few different coins you put in that sort of bucket. The best performing coin in the top 300, the one that I've at least been looking at, is this Venice coin, VVV. I don't know if you guys have been looking at that, but
yeah, I saw that this weekend. Put in quite a.
This is Eric Voorhees token. Some of you may remember it from the pre-sale that was done, or was it just ICO? I forget how this coin was launched, but I remember there being some drama about like the team selling when this first launched. Whoa. But this coin does look pretty good here, and it's one that I took a position in over the weekend, just because of it was breaking out like that. And it's basically, so what Venice is an AI that basically sits on top a lot of the other LLMs, but allows you to do things without, with some added levels of privacy / security. So all of the questions that you ask LLM is not stored on the LLM side, it's stored on your side, and they are not able to use your data essentially. So any question that you ask is not seen by the LLM side. It also then means that some of the checks and balances or some of the security features are somewhat repealed as well. So it's increased in popularity. In fact, to the stage that OpenClaw now uses Venice as its default LLM. What does VVV do? VVV, as far as I am aware, is currently usable for subscriptions and discount on those subscriptions. Because if you go to Venice.ai, you have to pay, I think it's something like $20 a month to use it. And but there are there are cheaper models if you have the token or you stake the token, and that gives you access to the API. So I don't really know if that means that this token should be worth that much. It's about $500 million. Seems like people will extrapolate it on a multiple of subscription revenue potentially, and then start to value it. But just because of the use of the platform, it's now got over 2 million users. People have now gotten bullish about it. So yeah, Eric Voorhees, if you don't know, like kind of an OG crypto guy. Actually, I think the first kind of person to experiment with crypto and gambling. He created Satoshi Dice back in the day. So he was the original crypto gambling guy. Sold that business and then got into DeFi and then got into this AI stuff. So he's been like a serial entrepreneur, let's say, in crypto. But yeah, originally Satoshi Dice, which is the OG gambling crypto platform.
Yeah, he's quite a Chad. We should get him on.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, it's one of those AI coins. It's like it's not a meme coin.
No, it's not a meme coin. It's a real AI token.
It's got real utility for the token. You can stake it. I mean, it kind of went there, which gives you access to their API and inference capacity where you don't have to pay for requests. So there's a real reason on the token.
What pushed a 300% spike though from the bottom here in February 13th? Which, by the way, damn, that's a 3x you can take on size.
I think OpenClaw now is using it as its default model.
What?
Yeah. Because of the security stuff and the privacy layer, this is actually seen as somewhat valuable now to like not share that data with the providers. So for an open source choice, it's generally it's been preferred. You can go on to type in Venice.ai. If it's better that you actually like look at the product a little bit before like just looking at the coin. But
it's like, what do you want me to ask?
So you can ask anything, but then if you go down slightly, you can like you kind of see keep on going down. So you can use all these sort of models with it. And images, you can create images as well. And the idea is that they don't have any of your details / data when you're asking an LLM these questions. Yeah, so there you go. It's about $20 a month, but the coin is somewhat going to make it cheaper or allow you to use the API at least cheaper.
Fully diluted, 440.
Yeah.
Market cap 295. Got it. It's 10% circ. No, then more maybe. No, it's more 50% circ. Actually, never mind what I'm saying. More than 50% circulating.
There has been some rallies in this world of crypto meets AI. Like if you look at the best performing tokens over the last 30 days, some of them are like the scam shit, like Pippin or whatever. But there's Venice, there's Kite, which is like this agentic L1. I don't see but how bullish that is. It doesn't seem that much different to other ones, but it is a agentic AI one. And then there's other ones like Grass, which is where like training data for AI is shared in like a deep-in network. So if there's one bright spot in crypto, it has been some of these crypto meets AI places over the last month.
It's a bright spot. Can we come back to majors? Majors are a bright spot right now. They're actually
majors are
ripping
in
real time.
Yeah.
It's 8-7.
Oh wow, we are. This is actually quite a candle on Bitcoin. I mean, it's still within this range, but like we're nearly 69K.
Wow, beautiful.
Wait, hold on. Let's put the hourly.
So if we break over this line here.
Yeah, this is the old lines. The lines haven't changed in months, except I added new ones below. This has been a tight range here, right? What a candle, guys. The last 2 hours? Was there any, is this maybe front running the Trump speech at 11 or no? Like speaking 40 minutes? I don't know.
Wow, yeah, it is a decent move here, isn't it? Hype 32.
It's a huge move. Yeah, hype. I mean, fuck, I can't believe I missed this hype trade. 5% on Bitcoin is no small feat.
Overhang, right? Like this has been hanging over crypto markets. And now, of course, the war is not over by any means. I think there's a huge question on how long it's going to last. So it's hard to get too excited on a Monday. But
wow,
I think one negative catalyst perhaps removed.
I mean, so let's talk about this. The strikes were on Saturday early morning. The market tanked to $63,000 Bitcoin, and then we closed the day green.
Yeah,
that's pretty strong, if you ask me. Like, I was in the camp thinking that this would actually take Bitcoin finally below 60K, and we didn't. Like, do you guys have any opinion on this? Like, it's pretty wild. No, that we just didn't even really budge here, right there.
I think it's a channel. It's the 2024 channel. I'm still very, very wary of going all in at this sort of level. Like, it's just been rejected how many times? I mean, including the times in 2024, we hit it 11 times. This is the third time we've hit that sort of level. Just feels like we're in an error channel. And like, if we break above 73K, we might push very easily towards 80K. I guess it's very low in the way, but feels slightly
yeah.
No, I obviously I have some longs. I have Monero and I have this Venice token and gold, basically. But yeah, this doesn't make me want to go all in Bitcoin just yet.
Where do we go all in Bitcoin?
I like buying breakouts. So if we broke out of that channel, is where I would buy it. While we're still in that channel, we're now just approaching the top level. They say like volume happens at the edges with these sort of channels, right? Don't get caught in the middle.
Good advice. Great advice.
Just wait for it to go to one side or the other, and then either go long or short for a breakout or for a reversal.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I'm positioned in metals and meme coins.
What could go wrong?
You know, I'm in small coins and then metals. That's my hedge. It's not bad.
Some bigger impacts to this, right? I've already seen talks like, so what does this mean for the dollar? Is the dollar going to be stronger now on the back of this? What does that mean for markets? Of course, near term, we perhaps have an inflation shock. Again, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're on day 3. If the war goes for 4 weeks plus, I think that's likely a bigger deal for oil.
So Trump was saying, right? 4 weeks. I wonder if there's something that's going to come out at 11 that is causing a move so aggressive. It's just like the range being the range.
We forgot that Jane Street is gone.
Oh. So. Did you guys notice that the Iran strikes were at 10 a.m. local time? Jane Street. I think Jane Street was behind that.
The other overhang, though, is we do have the blood moon tomorrow.
3/3. Tomorrow's 3/3. We have the blood moon at 3:33 a.m. Ooh, that's another overhang. Wait, we didn't ask Venice. What does that mean? Let's ask Venice.
Yeah.
What the blood moon means, right? So let's take it there. What does the blood moon on 3/3 mean for crypto markets? Let's just let's see how
I don't know if you need an account to do that, but maybe you don't.
No, I don't think so. It says ask it anything. There you go. There we go. It's thinking. Venice is thinking.
I'm very interested to see this live.
The blood moon on March 3rd, 2026 doesn't have any direct proven correlation in crypto. Price prediction. What? Is it giving us 175K Q1?
Oh, yeah. I need to go long VVV. The Mega Bull LLM.
Is this LLM telling us that we're going 175K?
I think it's saying between 120 to 175K, actually, but
That is
I don't know if I
pretty
should sell all my VVV right now or buy it.
I'm like, hold on. Is Venice telling us we're going 120 to 170K in Q1? This is the last month of Q1.
That's what the first.
This is the thing. This is the thing behind all of OpenClaw right now. So,
by the way, Claude has been so bad lately. I know it's not OpenClaw, but I'm just saying. What does the blood moon mean for crypto markets? Give me an analysis.
I have to say, we do need to build an LLM for crypto. I tend to find that Grok is the best because it uses a lot of the Twitter data for it.
It's true. Short answer.
Here we go.
No.
What's he going to say?
Stock returns tend to be lower full moons versus new moons. Lunar eclipses can trigger more pessimistic analyst forecasts. Uh-oh.
Erroneous.
Uh-oh. 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 May 22 blood moon, Terra Luna collapse. November 22 lunar eclipse, FTX collapse. And we're getting a blood moon plus a lunar eclipse tomorrow. You know when two negatives make a positive?
Oh, great point. Yep.
Yeah.
We're getting a blood moon, which is negative, and a lunar eclipse, which is negative. But that makes a positive.
Should we talk a little bit about I brought up the blood moon thing. Should we talk a little bit? I know Mando's time is limited. This Anthropic OpenAI situation that played out on Friday that now has already been like kind of forgotten about, but probably is going to come back to the forefront. So, I mean, a pretty insane story. So the U.S. Department of War was clearly like pressuring Dario and Anthropic. They wanted to use their models. It seemed like Dario was saying there's two red lines. We don't want automated surveillance. We don't want fully autonomous drones. And for whatever reason, they couldn't reach agreement on language in the contracts. And Dario stuck to his grounds. He did a bit of a press tour about it as well. Right after the deadline, effectively, like Hegseth and Trump came out and said, well, you are a supply chain risk now. And all federal agencies and companies that work, I understood as any company who works with the federal government is no longer able to work with Anthropic. It was a pretty major decree. And then an hour later, Sam Altman swoops in and effectively signs the deal.
Yeah.
And it came out that, and he basically said it's the same terms. And but like the caveat was that they did it with like within the current laws.
That's where I kind of lie on this. Where do you lie on this, Tyler? Like you're American. Like there's a case here which is like, oh, they did the right thing because we can't trust our governments to use the technology in the right way. But at the same time, that kind of puts these tech companies almost above the law, or think that they can be above that. And I think I can see both sides to that. Like, I think I could very easily argue both sides, which is that I don't think the bosses of AI firms should decide the use case of the AI. I think that should be around laws around that. But maybe we don't know what we don't know, and we don't know what this was exactly going to be used for. And maybe there was a idea that, that would be illegal. And if that was in the public knowledge, then it would be perhaps deemed illegal. Now, that feels to me like what they're claiming, almost that like this is almost like illegal actions that we're trying to stop happening. So they're kind of accusing the US government of maybe doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I really don't know where I stand on it.
Yeah, it's a tricky conversation, right? Can they really have Google and everybody divest their interest in Anthropic over this, and then fully stop it from growing because they refused to work with the U.S. government? And what does that mean?
I mean, they could. I don't think they will. I feel like it was a little bit of posturing, but I'm in the camp. I feel like Dario, they're overstepping a little bit, personally. Like Sam Altman's response basically said, like, hey, like we also disagreed with these things and said that we're going to operate within the laws of the United States. And I think Paul Marlucki had a pretty nice response to all this. It's like, okay, these are your 2 red lines. Well, what do these 2 lines even mean? Like, what are the of these things? So like, and we were not exactly all the context behind this, but I think there's a lot more to the story. And I do think Dario and Anthropic very well might think they are smarter and they should control the use of their models and more so than the U.S. government.
I think the context of this is Dario, out of all the AI chiefs, has been the most pro-safety one. Mm-hmm. I know we've just added like the whole Claude Code thing, but he's from the effective altruism community, which is the SBF community, which was a lot about like charitable stuff, but it was also around AI. It was what originally OpenAI was. A lot of the people were around, which was this kind of like, we are actually using this to try and build safety around AI to make sure it doesn't go too far. Do I think just because he has those values, he necessarily has the power? I don't think so. So, yeah, that's the side that I also lie on. But then that's also the side where you have to trust the government. And I think a lot of people in crypto, because I think Nick Carter got flamed for that similar sort of take in crypto this weekend, where he was like, "You're not above the law," and then Nick Carter says he like invested anti-establishment.
Yeah, he got flamed hard by everyone on X. But the thing is, I think his take is wrong though, right? Like if government can just do this to their biggest private companies, then the government runs like it's not. It's pretty totalitarian take, right? But we don't know the details as well. Like we don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
It is a totalitarian take.
We don't know what's happening behind the scenes between the Secretary of War and Anthropic, etc. But
let's put it in the case of different sorts of technology. Do you think that the US government should have been stopped using certain forms of like internet or network connectivity because of what they were going to do with it? Do you think they should have been stopped from using certain sorts of like weaponry back in the day because of what they would do with it? Like that's kind of what's being said here. This isn't the original use case of the technology, but you can use it for this sort of stuff. And then who decides whether it should be or can be used? I think that is a political / social decision more than it is like a business decision. But lots of businesses have, use of tech policies,
Yeah.
And we converted the Ford plants into manufacturing jets in the 40s, right? So it's the same thing to me. I do want to address like this. I saw this comment like fairly common on X that he says the tech's not ready. Don't you think he knows better than Hegseth? I think the U.S. demonstrated the military isn't exactly dumb. It pinpoint strikes across the U.S. I don't think they're just going to be rushing out new technology that isn't tested or ready. I think they've earned the benefit of that. So you think that Dario is smarter than Hegseth, and that's your whole basis for backing them in this decision. And I feel like that's pretty common. I think it's not the right this personally.
I think they both know what they're talking about for what it's worth, but there's definitely an overreach on one end at the moment. And then we'll see how.
Look, I think the end result is that OpenAI decided that they were comfortable with it. So also, even if this was seen as some sort of last stand in this, it's just going to be some other firm that comes and does this. So I think that whether you think who was right or wrong, the end result is the US is going to use the latest AI technology to do whatever the hell it likes.
Yeah.
And if we want to have stronger controls about that, and I speak to someone who doesn't live in the US, you need to get laws around that. Maybe there will be.
But Anthropic still might very well win. Like they're the number 1 app in the App Store this weekend.
They're cooking, except that they've been down every other day lately. But
yeah, they're down this morning.
But besides that, there's a big I removed ChatGPT from my main screen on my iPhone. I still have it obviously as a backup, and I put Claude on because I go to it first. Although it's not perfect, there's little imperfections, but it seems like that was the fastest horse recently. So, look, We'll see what that conversation goes. But it's definitely an interesting one. Wow, Bitcoin just hit 69K. Jesus.
This is very much a Bitcoin led move.
Yeah, no, Bitcoin is freaking ripping here. Look at that. It's trying to break our line. Wow. What an guys, look at this candles.
I think 69 today. I will.
The 4 hour is ridiculous. What's going on here? Complete sideline here.
Well, let's talk about it a little bit. I mean, it was the winner of the weekend. So it all kind of started. There was this Bloomberg headline. I mean,
yeah. Which one? What are you talking about?
There was a Bloomberg headline that came out on Saturday, effectively praising Hyperliquid. And said, like, this is where the traders are turning to trade the war over the weekend.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I'll try to find that. I posted about it on Saturday. I posted it.
I'll find it. Oh, wow.
Blocked the Hyperliquid exchange to hedge commodities as the conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran erupts. I think I've seen them maybe name drop Hyperliquid like a couple of times, but like this is a big one.
Yeah.
Like it's really going from niche crypto to like, okay, like traders around the world are going to be using Hyperliquid. And then like the technicals, so that's like a, more of a soft bull argument. Like the technicals backed it up. So open interest and HIP3 hit a all-time high. So that the section of Hyperliquid where you can trade TradFi, where you can trade gold, silver, metals, all of that, hit a new all-time high in open interest. So there's some real fundamentals behind the move here. And I think it was 25, 26 at the low, now cruising at 32. What is that? 30%? Over, 25, 30% move.
That's a huge move. I mean, the 26 has been defended so much in Hyperliquid. I'm kind of kicking myself for not taking a position here. Yeah, 25% move.
You and I are kind of hoping we maybe get sub 20. I don't know if we're going to get a sub 20 entry on.
No, not sub 20. I was hoping more back to like, lower 26.
I was hoping for, I selfishly wanted my 13.
You really wanted sub 20? That's insane. Oh yeah, 18 was the lowest I thought, but after that run to the 38, that was gone, long gone. That's all hopes are gone.
Also, I mean, so we had the January bottom, hype went all the way to like 36, and then all the way back down to 25, 26, and like it looked like if Bitcoin goes to mid 50s, maybe it goes.
The other one, Player Zero, man.
Hey,
what the hell, brother? I mean, that one is up 25% as well. So we had the founder on last week. Kick him. I just completely missed all the trades this week. Obviously War never looks really good. So I was positioned towards metals, which actually not a bad call either, but gold's doing great. But damn, CRO, 25% as well.
Yeah, that's the other one. That's the biggest, one of the biggest winners of the weekend. So like when they were on the show, I think it was like $1.60.
$1.51.
Yeah. So now that's 25%.
Yeah.
Big move. And that was another one we were talking like we'd love to see an entry around $1. We're not getting $1 on zero.
Better just stop waiting for end. But the thing is, like, nobody could have known. Like, by the way, like, if you listen to the show last week, pretty spot on. It's funny. I texted a friend of mine saying that 28th would be the strikes because of this. It was half a meme, the planetary alignment thing. Not that they look at planetary alignment and strike, but I was on the show last week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I was telling people to be careful around the markets because a strike is very possible after market hours on the Friday because that's what they usually do. And that metals probably the trade. Metals ran, like Bitcoin went to $400, and then crypto, went actually much lower, right? It went to 63K. But I think so that I wasn't caught off guard by that, but definitely caught off guard by this, like by the reaction and closing Saturday green. I would have never expected that. Never. And then I was expecting to open red because when Trump went on the record yesterday and said that it could be a 4-week-long war, and then that this has kind of been escalating, right? I don't know if you guys following, but last 2 days, like last 24 hours, like there's been a lot of, missiles going out both ways and always and anyways. I was not expecting the market to react this way. Pretty surprising for Monday.
There's another aspect to this without getting like too in the weeds, but as I understand it, it's like Iran is a huge Bitcoin miner, and like 2 to 5% of global Bitcoin hash rate mining comes from Iran, and they can, as I understand, they can mine for very cheap because of the energy they have over there, which means they're effectively mining for cheap, so they're just selling, right? So this is perhaps alleviating some sell pressure. Is that a part of this move? I don't know. I might be reaching a bit with that take, but perhaps a part of this.
Or maybe is this just a short squeeze?
Yeah, it very well could be that. And I don't want to get too excited at range highs.
No, we can't. We know that. You and I.
Some things have changed the last week, for sure. And I do think people, I mean, you're maybe not the sharps, but retail pays attention to strength, right? And crypto outperforming amidst a war scenario, I think will be seen as positive.
I don't understand this move. This is an insane candle, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. Wow. This is quite the move. But anyways, okay, so that's that. I think market wise, we've gone around the horn quite well. Tyler, let's take it to you and see what you got for us.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler D on FOMO hour cause the kid can't miss.
Ready to bash some bears. Yeah, folks, crypto majors are bright green here on Monday morning. We've got Bitcoin up 3%, 69,440. Wow, knocking on 70K. ETH up 2%, 2,056. Solana up 2.3% at 88.55. Now all those majors are actually green on the week as well. So substantially higher than we were on Monday. Oil was up fairly substantially in pre-markets. It's up 7% here. And notably, U.S. stocks opened very red, down. NASDAQ was down 1.5%, is now down 0.15%. So stocks are erasing that sell-off as well. We talked about a hype rally, 13% over the weekend. 31.32 as HIP3 open interest set a new all-time high. Trump Media is weighing spinning off Truth Social into a separate public entity called SpinCo. It would merge with Texas Ventures 3. We have Minnesota lawmakers considering a full statewide ban on crypto ATMs. It would be the first U.S. state to do that. And Ripple introduced some new funding routes for XRP ledger development, a new builder program, and some university partnerships. In ETF news, a few headlines here. So the Bitcoin ETF, 787 million net inflows last week, while the ETH ETFs put up about 80 million. So it was one of our first green weeks in what feels like a long time. This week will certainly be telling for those ETFs, expecting some inflows today. And then Trump Media, there was headlines last week that they had sold like 2,000 Bitcoin. It looks like that was actually just a transfer, and that Bitcoin was being pledged as collateral. So they did not sell that. So a clarification there. And then Saylor, we got the news out of Saylor. They did buy 200 million in Bitcoin last week. So higher than the prior week before that at a 67.6 average, which if you look at the chart from last week, that was the high of the week. So they said,
no, dude, he's a genius now.
But he's green. He is green on those buys. In token airdrop and protocol news, it's a big weekend for prediction markets, but also perhaps a little bit on the negative side. A lot of inside trading talk around some of the Iran markets. I think one wallet won like 1.2 million betting on just in the hours right before it. Kalshi caught some heat as well for effectively not resolving their community market. So they don't do death markets. That let off a bit of a firestorm. We had Crypto VC Paradigm announce a new $1.5 billion fund focused on AI robotics. So they are perhaps pivoting a bit. Then Backpack came out and explained more about their token equity program. In memes were red this morning, though I'm sure they're flipping green, and not really a whole lot of action over the weekend. And that was it. There really wasn't a whole lot of crypto specifics over the past few days. It was a lot more of the macro kind of leading on that.
And which is what we warned against, right? On all last week, we're saying like right now there's not much news coming out of crypto. It's mostly going to come out of macro and obviously like war news, etc. But this has been what's been holding most of everything back, or not actually in that sense. Tyler, where should we even start here? I mean, obviously there's not too much, but we have time for a couple of bigger headlines.
Well, one that I didn't listen to the minutes we can talk about. There was like the ex-creator debacle. over the weekend. So X is now rolling a new paid partnerships button. So anyone who is doing paid posts will have the ability to disclose that via a tag. There was a big flurry of concern, perhaps, I don't know what the right word is, yesterday morning over whether or not it was even allowed to post about crypto, about casinos, about a flurry of other topics, or was it actually against X's terms and conditions? Ultimately, it seems like that was much ado about nothing. Ultimately, it is okay to post on those topics. You just need to disclose it. I've seen a lot of folks say this is the death of CT. Everyone kind of victory lapping it.
Kind of CT every other week, huh? That's in this market.
Yeah, I think it will be a net positive.
We can talk about this. This is really relevant to CT. I think I mean, correct. I mean, I don't mean to point fingers or anything, but I do believe that a lot of these changes are because of CT, right? The larger companies and the gambling companies, prediction market companies, etc., been sponsoring a lot of the broader news. Not just CT, by the way. Like I think Nikita really pissed him off with this news site that was sponsored by either Kalshi or Pawn Market, I forget, and was saying, "Yo, like, put in your next tweet that you're partnered, or else I'm gonna delete you," right? Something like that's how it started a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then that started the whole conversation on CT, which is the one you're talking about now. And it's true that all the big, the Walter Bloombergs, like where we get our news, we monitor situations from pages that are literally sponsored. So it's beyond CT. It's not your little CT KOL being sponsored by a casino. That's the problem here. It's like literally like the big news pages where people get their news that are sponsored. And he wanted this disclosure. I made a comment yesterday saying that this is actually bullish CT. So I'm going to share my screen. It's this one, right? This new disclosure tool. And someone asked me why. Simply because I think more transparency leads to better information, first and foremost. And second of all, I strongly believe that this will also filter out the people that don't want to be transparent, and therefore they will just stop, right? So will this lead to a little more soft shilling? Sure, but let's be honest. I much prefer soft shilling than hard shilling on the timeline. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. And then second of all, for the reason that I said, but curious your thoughts. I mean, you're a KOL, you're someone with an audience. You have a newsletter that's powered by Yeet. You also, obviously do some advertising here and there, and you have a large audience. So what's your take on this news?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's just love. It's just clean. Like here's the button. And now also it's like in some ways you don't have to dance around some of the language, like partnered with my partner's here. Thank you for helping. Thanks for working with us on this post, all this stuff. So we can you can just put the tag right out there. I am curious. So like, is it going to lead to disengagement? Like, are they going to kind of nerf these posts? I mean, certainly I'm sure folks will have the ability to hide them in their feeds. So I think that will likely be coming. So perhaps we'll see some impacts down the line with respect to that. But I do think it is a pretty big, everything on your post is mad. I think it's a positive. The pitchforks are already out. I'm already seeing like the folks are just trying to report, anything under the sun that looks like it could be an undisclosed shill. So it's going to be messy out there for the.
Oh, it is ad block the problem. So yesterday I couldn't see any partnership posts from anyone on my computer. It's because I have the ad blocker. And he's saying ad block plus your ad blocker is hiding people's own posts. I could see that. He did say he likes prediction markets, but see, I can't show you that because I can't see because it said sponsored on the post. But I strongly believe they're doing a lot of things that is making this app better. I know we complain a lot about X here and there, but where did you spend all your weekend on when you were monitoring the situation? Like I had one TV on news at all times because I wanted to hear it in the background and see it as well. But it's funny. I was getting my news on X fast, and then 15 minutes later, the television would be like, "The Ayatollah is dead." I'm like, dude, I've known this for like 2 hours. Right. So it's pretty crazy. And then they were saying, Elon and Nikita said that it was the biggest week in the history of X, which is pretty impressive. And I think that X is definitely making moves for the better. So looking forward to this. I think this will make CT better in general, but not just CT. It's actually all FinTweet, right? It's finance Twitter, news Twitter, crypto Twitter, which has kind of become one thing. Yeah. And this is where there's the most advertisement, because to be honest, this is where the money's at. it's people that have money. So you target people that have money when you do advertising. So it makes a lot of sense. But anyways, what else, Ty?
That was a big one. Other than that, I mean, I think Ventuals caught a little bit of love. We don't talk about Ventuals a ton.
No, I see their tweets.
So like effectively what they are is another like hyperliquid HIP-3 style market, but they also have private markets pre-IPO. So you can trade OpenAI, you can trade Anthropic, you can trade SpaceX. Of course, you need to know what you are actually trading. You know, you're not you're probably trading like a synthetic version. I'd have to go through their docs to see exactly what the are. The open interest, the volume isn't super high by any means. $4 million in OpenAI, $2 million in SpaceX, $785K in Anthropic. But an interesting crypto native platform where if you saw the mania playing out on Friday between Anthropic, the U.S. Department of AI, you could have put a trade on. And I do think Anthropic did fall briefly. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it. So it went from 529 to 465. So like a 10% fall, and then it rebounded there on Saturday. Just so another interesting crypto native market where you can start to trade some of these products. So I think I'm expecting to see their volumes go up. I'll be curious. Wait, can you trade these on Hyperliquid?
What kind of Hyperliquid just like do this?
It depends if would they want to.
Got it.
Oh yeah, so okay, so SpaceX is wow. All right, you can't. Oh, it's you can trade on Hyperliquid, but they're linking you to the Ventuals token.
Yeah. Oh, that's super bullish. Ventuals.
Yeah. Okay.
So Ventuals on a token that's trading right now.
Say that again.
Does Ventuals has a token? Do they have it?
I don't think so.
Okay, that'll be a nice token if they drop one, and if there's I've seen. I mean, we covered when they launch, right? We can get there. We can get Ventuals on the show if you want. I mean, we've got time.
Yeah, this one. I want to hear a little bit more about how they see these markets evolving.
They're quite active next.
A piece of news that kind of got buried over the weekend. So Tesla came out, or SpaceX, Elon came out and said SpaceX is going to IPO. I think within like the next month.
What?
So they're going to try to front run this. I think that's important because if you look at the IPO sizes, SpaceX is going to IPO at like 1.75 trillion. OpenAI probably around 1 trillion. Anthropic's trading at 500 trillion right now. Those are going to be massive IPOs. There's a lot of concern about going to be liquidity in the market for all of those. So I think you want to be first. And now if you want to, there's for most of us, it's been pretty impossible to trade those. Now here's a way you perhaps can, but of course take it with a grain of salt. Make sure you understand what you are trading. And other than that, that was pretty much it. It was more of a quiet weekend for more of the downstream.
There you go. Yeah, it was. Well, we'll have stuff tomorrow. I just realized that's a pretty hard stop in 6 minutes. So let's give some money away. Let's give some money away. Prepping my next interview. It's gonna be a big one. Oh yeah. All right, Charlie. Let's pull it up. Let's. All right. We okay. Went to 69.4. We rejected there. Ty. Let's see where that goes after. Let's see where we go there. Oh, let me open Yeet in the meantime. Maybe it's a little Omaha today, just for the sake of your boy. Also, Omaha. All right, let's see what we got. Heck, Tony. HEC Tony. Congratulations, HC Tony. HEC Tony. I see a lot of GGs in the chat. I like to see that. Who's Heck Tony? Where is it? Where is Heck Tony?
Tony.
There. All right, there you go. Thanks for the gifted subs, Spacebar. I see you're trying to troll everybody saying it's a bot, but thanks for the subs, dude. All right, Tony, I'm gonna play some Omaha for yo. Here. So congratulations, you already made $500. Reminder, you have to log into yeet.com every single day to claim your money. $100 a day. All right. Let's go. Let's get some good hands. Let's get a full house. Oh wow, look at that. Pair of 8s. That's not
all right. Get a 1 card here for sure.
Oh,
and sweeps the board.
Sweeps the board. I've never seen that.
Oh yeah.
Swept the board 2x and 4x. So wow, 542 already.
All right, it's up 1,040. Nice start.
1,040. Let's go. 3 of a kind. I think that's doable. Oh, we both have 3 of a kind because it's the board. An ace wins it. Yes! Full house! Oh my god, double sweep!
$1,500 win for Heck Tony. 1,600. Oh shit, he wanted.
I have never seen that.
What a morning!
Wow.
That's $1,700.
Wow, dude. Because he got two cards.
Oh, because you get the higher multiplier on your 25 side bet for the flush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, what $1,700 on Omaha? It's 3x. Oh no, sorry, it's $1,000 because it was a 500 I added. Okay, but still, there you go, $1,700. So with that being said, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Peace out.